Another Star Trek crossover, and this one is genuinely very cool. Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Over at New York Comic Con just over a week ago, Mike McMahon was on a panel, and he was asked about Enterprise and Lower Decks. And he, long story short, basically said that assuming they get a fifth season of Lower Decks, which is not certain, but assuming they do, that we might get to see some Enterprise love in that series. He was basically teasing us that they are genuinely thinking about a Lower Decks Star Trek Enterprise crossover episode. Now, why am I so excited about this? And I am a little excited. I'm like a little bit. Basically, Strange New Worlds, the second season, I found a little disappointing. I thought the finale wasn't massively exciting. I thought the musical episode was very disappointing. They really should have done that as a Christmas special or something. It really annoys me. It was the 9th episode of the season. It really should have been done as something separate, and then I wouldn't have minded. But anyway, let's leave that kettle of fish because it'll make me angry and I'll start ranting. But a highlight of the series, really the best episode for me in the entire season, was the Lower Decks Strange New Worlds crossover.
Oh, hell yeah! I did it!
Mariner, what are you doing here?
I'm saving you?
No. We only had enough for one trip.
Oh. Whoa. Wait, Boyms. Did I time travel? Okay, so is Ahura here? This is amazing. Wow. You guys are great, but is she here?
When Boimler went through the time portal, I just thought that was fantastic. There were so many real standout moments in that episode, like Boimler's speed walk, Riker maneuver.
Now.
Whoa.
Riker.
And all these bits. I can't tell you how much I loved it. It was just a glorious episode, and I've watched it 2 or 3 times since. In a season that, for me, overall, was incredibly disappointing, that and the episode where they went back in time with Kirk, that was a good episode as well, even though it made no sense. That was a good episode as well. Other than that, was really a disappointing season. Now, I don't think Strange New Worlds or anybody else should do any other crossovers. I think the live action, that was a one-off, and it was done beautifully. There's a lot of comedy in there, but really, they shouldn't do it again. But Lower Decks, because it's a comedy show, because it's slightly silly, because they get to do things that are different every episode. The last episode of this season is a brilliant example of that. They basically did a filler episode with clips, but obviously it wasn't clips that we'd ever actually seen before. So they created new clips so they were basically poking fun at a filler episode by doing just a brilliant, unique episode. Lower Decks can do that. It can do that every week. Obviously, Star Trek has a brilliant history of this. Deep Space Nine, with going back to the Trouble with Tribbles episode.
Who started it? I'm waiting. Who started the fight?
I don't know, sir.
All right. Chekhov. I know you. You started it, didn't you?
No, sir, I didn't.
Well, who did?
I don't know, sir.
There is a good history of doing these crossovers and doing them well.
Mr. Worf?
They are Klingons, and it is a long story.
What happened? Some kind of genetic engineering? A viral mutation?
We do not discuss it with outsiders.
In live action. My problem is going back to Enterprise, going even before the original series, does mean you're going to have to do some sort of time travel thing again. And it's been done repeatedly.
Captain, your presence here has not been overly meddlesome.
I think he likes you, Pinkskin. I wouldn't go that far.
But Lower Decks could do it in a way that is silly, that would be annoying if they did it in live action, but they can do it in Lower Decks because it's the cartoon, because it's silly anyway, they can get away with it. They'll make a joke about another time travel episode. You know, they'll make it into part of the show, which is something you couldn't do in a live action. Now, I actually think I would love to see an Archer episode of Strange New Worlds, and this is something that has been rumored several times. Captain Pike and Archer actually did live at the same time. Now, according to canon, Archer did die just 4 or 5 years before Strange New Worlds started, for where Strange New World is set. But Pike and Archer did live at the same time for about 30 years. So Pike, as a slightly younger man, not particularly younger, but a slightly younger man, could have met Captain Archer. So we could get a Captain Archer episode, or getting Scott Bakula in a Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode quite easily, with just a little bit of a flashback for some reason. It wouldn't break canon. There would be no requirement for any time travel shenanigans, and it could be something that maybe leads into Pike and what we know is going to happen to him in Menagerie, something they didn't really talk about much in season 2. So it's an interesting possibility. But guys, what do you think? Would you love to see Scott Bakula's Captain Archer return in Star Trek? And if he did, would you prefer that was Lower Decks, where they could really make a joke out of it and make it fun? Or would you actually rather that into something like Strange New Worlds, where maybe it would have to be a flashback if they're not going to break canon again? But let's be honest, they're not bothered about canon. So actually Archer could probably just turn up on the bloody Enterprise and they wouldn't even bat an eyelid. I personally would prefer canon didn't get messed with too much more. So I think actually the Lower Decks way of doing this and giving Enterprise a bit of love, as Mike McMahon said, through Lower Decks in season 5 would be brilliant. But get into the comments and tell me what you think. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You can share the video wherever the hell you like. Also, you can go to patreon.com/SciTrek, where most of our new videos appear first, and you get to see them without the adverts. Also, you can go to SciTrek.co.uk, which is our dedicated website where we do articles based on most of our videos, and we try and throw in a little bit more information for you to digest. Go check it out. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Whoa.
Riker.